So in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at all of the upcoming DLC for Friday the 13th, the game, some things I would like to see, and, well, where the hell do they go after all of this shit is released? Let's get started. So first up, we have a new clothing pack, and of course that new clothing pack will be pajamas for the counselors. And after that will be the release of a new game mode, which is Paranoia Mode. Now, for those of you that are unaware of what Paranoia Mode is basically the equivalent of Deceit. And if you haven't played Deceit, basically what happens is two people are infected. Those people have to kill the innocents without being caught. Now, if they're caught, the innocents have to kill the infected, well, before the infected kills them. Now, Gun Media did release a statement saying that Paranoia Mode will be put on hold. Of course, that doesn't mean indefinitely, but it is on hold as of right now because the game just doesn't feel right. And after that will be single-player challenges. Now, for those of you that haven't seen this trailer, single-player challenges kind of looks like a story mode in a sense. I actually wasn't looking forward to single-player challenges. However, this does look really badass. With single-player challenges, you can basically kill people the same way you could in the movies. You have to wait until they're alone and then kill them without being caught. I think this is just a really cool addition to Friday the 13th, the game. And after that, we'll be getting a new Jason and a new map. Now, obviously, the new Jason will be Uber Jason from Jason X, and the map will obviously be the ship from Jason X as well. Now, if you haven't completed Virtual Cabin 2.0, there's actually a really cool teaser in there that shows us Uber Jason and the new map. And with the release of the new Jason X map, I would like to see a new way of killing Jason. And no, I'm not talking about implementing it across every single map. I'm talking about implementing a new way to kill Jason on that specific map. Now, one of the cool ways I think that they could do this is to go through a whole set of sequences which would lead everybody to escaping out of a pod, and either the android or Sergeant Brodsky behind in order to kill Jason while the entire ship explodes. Now, I think this would be a really cool sequence to see inside the video game, and I really hope they implement something like this. But now let's talk about a couple of other features that will be added to Friday the 13th, the game, that aren't on the DLC roadmap. So first up, let's take a look at dedicated servers. Yes, that's right, they'll be adding dedicated servers to Friday the 13th, the game, after they finish the Unreal Engine update. Now, for those of you that have shitty internet connections or no friends that they can play with all the time, this is actually a really good thing for you. I really don't have any use for it, and I actually prefer to host because I have a really good internet connection, and it actually serves everybody very well in private matches. But like I said, this could be a very good thing for those of you that have shitty internet connections. And next up is Interchangeable Weapons. Now, this is a really cool fucking idea. We can select any weapon for any Jason, which means we can also make some pretty damn comedic looking shit, such as, well, giving Savini Jason the hedge clippers. You're trying to tell me that shit won't be funny as hell to see big ass Savini Jason break a door down in one hit and then snip, snip, snip with the fucking hedge clippers? That shit could get real funny. Or maybe when Uber Jason comes out, we'll give him the hedge clippers. This shit could get very comedic. But now we're going to talk about a couple of things I would like to see added to Friday the 13th, the game. First up would be Mark from Friday the 13th Part 2. Yes, Mark was the handicap counselor in Friday the 13th Part 2. And yes... Oh, wait. We have a clip of somebody in a wheelchair. Could this possibly be a hint towards Mark being added to Friday the 13th, the game, and they're just using Chad as a stand-in the wheelchair? And yes, we all know it would be funny as shit just to tie Mark up to the back of the bumper of the car and use him as bait so we can get away. I mean, come on, what the hell's gonna happen if Jason hits him and he falls out of the wheelchair? Is he just gonna army crawl his way into a cabin? And how does he get out of cabins? Are we gonna get like a special map that has wheelchair accessible cabins? Are we gonna have to pick him up and help him in out of the windows? Now, this shit will be very challenging, and yes, it is called the Wheelchair Challenge, which means yes, he will be in a wheelchair. And yes, this will be very difficult, and it will add a very cool variety to the game. I'm all for variety. I don't care how it comes, as long as there's variety and the game just doesn't feel as stale or get as boring as, well, it will become at some point. And next up, obviously, will be the Manhattan map that I've discussed a lot, actually. For those of you that don't think a Manhattan map could work, well, I've talked about this before in many other videos. They could simply block off a couple blocks in Manhattan, give us the free range of going in and out of shops or buildings, gathering parts to rebuild taxis or cop cars, letting us go down into the subways, explore abandoned subway cars. We could use payphones to call the cops instead of a phone inside of a house. This could really add a great variety to the game, and variety is what will be needed in order to keep this game going on for a long time. If you don't have variety, people will become very bored with the game. Variety is what's needed. But with all that said, after all of this is released, where the hell do they go to from here? Well, I do have a great idea on what they could do with Friday the 13th, the game. But with all that said, let me know down in the comment section below, which one of these DLCs are you looking forward to? Do you actually want dedicated servers? Do you just not care? Do you think some of my ideas for the Manhattan map or adding Mark would be a really cool way of adding variety to the game? Also, what do you guys think about the possibility of Friday the 13th, the game, in virtual reality? Also, don't forget, we have 2 contests going on right now. Both links are down in the description below. I'll be giving away copies of Last of the Game when it comes out later this year. There's also a Ready Player One giveaway, which will end, well, on the premiere of Ready Player One. Also, don't forget to find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that other great shit. And hit that like button, because the more videos like this get more likes, well, the more types of these videos I will do in the future. Also, don't forget about the merch store. We have more shirts that just came in. The second design will come out later next week, along with the female version of the shirts. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because if you don't, you will be notified of kick-ass content such as this. And as always, I'll see you next time.